Let's go Broncos! There's a bold, potentially revolutionary change that could transform the Broncos into one of the most unpredictable and dangerous teams in the entire NFL. If you think Sean Payton will continue doing what he's always done, think again. Because now there's someone else in charge, and they might be getting the keys to the offense. But before I reveal this story that's causing a stir behind the scenes, don't forget to like this post, but only if you're a true Broncos fan and ready for the return of glory. And if you've been following this team for decades, I want you to leave a comment right now saying, "Go Broncos! My heart bleeds orange and blue." You won't want to miss what I'm about to reveal. Ready? Let's go. The Denver Broncos pulled off what can only be described as absolute highway robbery when they convinced Davis Webb to stay in the building. This is a guy who had offers from across the league, from superstar-led teams like the Ravens, and even the Buffalo Bills, where his best friend Josh Allen is the franchise quarterback. Webb could have taken over a major market offense in New York, possibly under Harbaugh, or linked up with names like Scatterbo and Jackson Dart. But instead, he chose Denver. That's not just loyalty, that's belief. Belief in what Sean Payton is building here. Belief in Bo Nix. And belief in Broncos country. Let's be real, having the richest owner in the NFL absolutely made a difference. Denver could outbid all those other suitors without blinking. And it's not just about money. It's about opportunity. It's about vision. And Webb saw both right here in Colorado. Sean Payton didn't just want him back. He went all in. That alone speaks volumes. Now, the big question fans are asking all over Denver, who's going to call the plays in 2026? Many assume Payton would never give that up. But here's the twist. That assumption is dead wrong. In fact, Sean Payton has handed off play-calling responsibilities before. Twice, actually. Once after an injury when he broke his leg and had to shift to the booth, he handed the duties to Pete Carmichael. Then again during his suspension in the infamous Bounty Gate era. And remember, the coach Sean Payton idolizes the most? Bill Parcells, the same man who beat John Elway in the Super Bowl and haunts Broncos fans to this day, handed off play-calling to Payton himself. If his mentor could do it to empower young talent, so can Payton. And he's done it. So let's talk about how Denver might leverage both Sean Payton and Davis Webb in a revolutionary play-calling system that's already been proven effective elsewhere in the NFL. Take a look at the Jacksonville Jaguars in recent years. Doug Peterson and his offensive coordinator literally split play-calling duties. Peterson took the first half, his OC took the second. And the result? Stunning comeback wins, including that legendary 27-point rally against the Chargers. It kept defenses off balance and created a dynamic rhythm to their game. Now imagine the Broncos doing that with Payton and Webb. One calls the first half, the other adjusts and surprises in the second. You think defensive coordinators like Steve Spagnuolo are going to be able to crack that code? Not a chance. They won't be able to key in on tendencies because those tendencies will change every half. Or how about splitting by play type? That's what Andy Reid did in Kansas City. He called the passing plays, while Eric Bieniemy handled the run game. This division of labor made KC's offense lethal, unpredictable, and explosive. If Payton and Webb follow this model, Denver could become an offensive juggernaut. And it's not just speculation, we've seen this strategy work. Doug Peterson learned it from Mike Holmgren. It's got roots, and now it might be Denver's secret weapon. Even more encouraging, the players are fully behind Webb. Ben DiNucci, who's been in the room, flat out said having Davis Webb is one of the best things that's ever happened to this team. Sam Ehlinger turned down a chance to start for the Colts because he wanted to stay in this quarterback room. That's loyalty. That's belief in the system. Garrett Bowles publicly backed Webb, saying his eye for the game is phenomenal. Cortland Sutton said Webb has the heartbeat of the offense. That's not just respect, that's trust. And let's not forget, Davis Webb is already a recruiting weapon. He helped bring Evan Engram to Denver. Stephon Diggs even admitted he nearly signed with the Broncos just because of Webb. This guy doesn't just coach, he connects, builds chemistry, and attracts talent. And when it comes to building something special, those are the intangibles that matter most. The Broncos aren't done either. They've got $40 million in cap space, 9 picks in this year's draft, and a reset dead cap number that's down to a mere $1.2 million, a far cry from the $90+ million that had us buried last year. That reset alone is reason to believe. Bo Nix is taking a step forward. Troy Franklin is developing. Pat Bryant is becoming a factor. This is a young, hungry squad with 2 elite minds in Payton and Webb steering the ship. This decision could define the entire 2026 season. And if Sean Payton plays it right, the Broncos could become the most unpredictable offense in the league. That unpredictability is exactly what could push us over the top and finally back into Super Bowl contention. There's something else that's flying under the radar, Davis Webb's ability to identify and develop talent. We already talked about how his fingerprints are all over the Bo Nix evaluation. But dig a little deeper and you'll see a pattern. He's influencing the roster beyond just the quarterback room. He played a critical role in Evan Engram's decision to join Denver. That's a Pro Bowl level tight end choosing the Broncos because of Webb's presence. You don't get that unless players around the league trust you. And Stephon Diggs nearly coming to Denver? That speaks volumes. That tells us the culture shift in Dove Valley is real, and Davis Webb is right in the center of it. Now think about what that means for free agency this year. With $40 million in cap space, Webb becomes one of Denver's strongest assets in negotiations. He's not just a coach, he's a closer. And when you combine that with Sean Payton's pedigree, the richest owner in football, and a young quarterback on a rookie deal, the Broncos suddenly become one of the most attractive destinations in the NFL. That's how you build a contender, not with hype, but with structure, chemistry, and smart leadership. Let's also not ignore the emotional momentum building within the team. Every sign points to this being one of the most tight-knit locker rooms we've had in years. You've got players choosing to stay in Denver instead of chasing starting jobs elsewhere, like Sam Ehlinger. That speaks to the culture being built under Sean Payton and Davis Webb. There's belief here. Players aren't just here for a paycheck. They're here for each other. And when that's the case, the wins tend to follow. One other factor fans should not overlook: how the dead cap reset is setting the Broncos up for long-term success. $1.2 million in dead money. That's it. After carrying over $90 million last year, that's one of the cleanest cap sheets in the league. We've got flexibility, we've got youth, and we've got one of the best coaching duos shaping up to lead this roster into a new era. That level of fiscal responsibility and talent development is rare in the modern NFL, and it's all coming together right here in Denver. So now the focus turns to execution. If Sean Payton and Davis Webb can find the right rhythm, whether it's a 50-50 split, pass/run division, or some other hybrid approach, Denver becomes a chessboard that no defensive coordinator will want to face. Imagine trying to game plan for a team that throws a different offensive look at you in every half, every quarter, maybe even every drive. You can't study tendencies. You can't predict rhythm. All you can do is react, and by then, it might already be too late. That's the type of offensive innovation that changes the playoff picture. That's how you go from a close call to a conference championship. And let's not forget, the league is evolving. The NFL is becoming faster, smarter, more adaptable. Coaches who can delegate, innovate, and trust their staff are the ones who rise. That's exactly what Sean Payton is doing now, not clinging to ego, but building something bigger than himself. And as for Davis Webb, it's clear he's not just along for the ride. He's not a backup. He's not a placeholder. He's the future. His football mind is being recognized across the league, and Denver is lucky to have him. The only question now is how far we can go with him helping to steer the offense. And if this plan unfolds the way it's being drawn up behind the scenes, we're not just talking about playoff runs, we're talking about deep January football, possibly February. So Broncos country, let's hear it. Would you be excited to see Davis Webb call plays full-time? Or do you prefer a hybrid system that keeps defenses off balance? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the Broncos' offensive strategy and you're fired up for the 2026 season, don't forget to like this video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. I've got more exclusive Broncos content coming your way, including draft coverage, free agency breakdowns, and in-depth film reviews. Check out the next video on the screen right now. You won't want to miss it. Go Broncos!